Magandang kamalayan sa inyo lahat at nandito na naman tayo sa ating school or school. Ang ating eskwelahan na tinatawag natin Shifting Consciousness Higher Online Lifelong Learning, SCHOLLL. At tayo ay nasa ating class or ating klase na tinatawag natin KLA. Ang spelling natin actually is KLASS, class, hindi CLASSS. Dahil ang class, ang ibig sabihin nito ay Kamalayan Learning Alternative Success System. At ako ang inyong teacher, guro, Tato Malay. At ngayon ay maganda na naman ang ating topic. Ang ating topic na pag-uusapan na very, I would say, timely, very relevant. Dahil ito ay isang bagay na kailangan maging, I would say, practical tayo ngayon sa mga nangyayari sa panahong ito. Dahil hindi natin alam kung ano ang, what do you call this, future. Because as I've said, there's no future that we're going to actually look forward to in terms of yung may mangyayari. Tayo ang gagawa ng ating future. So basically, this is something that we have to now be able to discern in terms of what kind of, I would say, life or, the kind of future or the kind of life that we are going to have in the future. And as what we have noticed, sabi nga natin, nagbago na lahat, natigil ang mga marami nating gawain, lalo na ang mga ating mga naging kabuhayan, trabaho. Yung iba ay wala nang nabalikang klaseng, nabalikang mga, I would say, pangkabuhayan nila. No? And, well, sad to say, this is the reality of things now. But, as I've said, I had predicted this, we had predicted this. When we say we, those who are actually involved in this thing that we do in terms of, I would say, being able to predict the future by studying the kind of, I would say, events that are happening at present. And when you talk of events, ito yung mga aming binibigyan ng halaga, ang ating, kasi when you say there are things happening right now, what are these? And who brought this about? And somehow, ito yung aming binibigyan namin ng, I would say, halaga. Dahil everything that are, all the things that are now being felt or being experienced during the present time, kunyari ngayon, present time ngayon, merong kinalaman ito sa susunod na mga events na mangyayari. So basically, yung tatawag susunod na events, yun yung future. So yung future na yan, wala pa yan, pero alam na namin kung ano mangyayari, basing it on what is going on right now. And somehow, ito na nga yung nangyayari. We knew that there will be this kind of, I would say, shutdown. Titigil lahat dahil napapanahon na. Sumobra na tayo. Sumobra na ang mga tao in terms of what they were doing to the environment, to our earth. Sabi nga ito ay isang bagay na hindi natin nakita na mangyayari dahil akala natin ay walang katapusan yung mga maliligayang araw natin in terms of what we used to do. But basically, ang tanong nga dyan is, maliligaya ba talaga yung mga araw na yon or pagdurusa? Kasi many of the things that we had been experiencing never really brought us happiness or that kind of satisfaction that we wanted to actually see or experience. So, ito ngayon ang ating, ito nga, nakikita natin ngayon na pangyayari na sana ay makuha na natin gawing tama itong mga panibagong I would say mundo na nais natin makamit o magawa. And we are now creating, as I've said, a new world, and somehow ito na yung pagkakataon natin na umpisahan ng maganda. The kind of world that we created, all right, there was really what we call progress, no? 50 years ago, ang layo ng mundo natin sa mundo noon. 50 years lang yan, nag-uusapan natin. And somehow, ito na yun, because of technology, I mean, everything became so, I would say, modern. At ang dami na natin nagagawa, naiwanan na tayo ng panahon. Yun ang tanong dyan, yun ang ang salita or yung word na importante natin maisip. Naiwanan tayo ng panahon. Why? Because the learnings, the knowledge that we had were based on knowledge that were good for the past 50 years or 50 years ago. Yung mga tinuro sa atin sa eskwelahan, yung pa rin na tinuturo sa atin hanggang ngayon eh. Ang karamihan doon ay obsolete na nga at hindi na practical or hindi na angkop sa panahong ito. And somehow, we tried to still, continue doing the same things na kung sa titingnan natin ay sabi nga natin wala na nga igagawang tama ito dahil hindi na ito yung, I would say, hindi na ito yung napapanahon. Tapos, pinagpapatuloy pa natin. So, ang nangyari dyan, we just created something na hindi na tayo nagiging masaya. We just continued practically doing many of the things that can actually destroy us for that matter. And that was what happened. And so, sabi na nga ng kamalayan natin, because it was really our consciousness that created all these things. And so, napaka-negative no kamalayan. Basically, it produced this particular event. Alright, patagal-tagal na napag-uusapan natin to for the past 6 months. Ito na yung ating palaging topic, itong nangyayari ngayon. But ang tanong nga dyan is, what are we supposed to be doing? And somehow, ang problema ngayon is ang eskwelahan natin, they don't know what to teach. Dahil wala na nga eh. Wala. Yung mga trabahong available noon na kung saan may mga courses aligned or for that matter, yun yung para bang training ground or kumbaga doon nakatuon yung mga courses natin na pag nag-graduate ka, may papasukan kang trabaho. May papasukan kang kumpanya o isang career o isang business o isang field or industry. Nawala lahat. Ang tanong ngayon is, ano ituturo mo ngayon sa mga bata na hindi mo na alam kung saan sila pupunta. Hindi mo alam kung ano yung may trabaho pang available dyan. Hindi mo na alam kung ano pa ang relevant na kung saan ay may, I would say, magiging kabuhayan sila. And so, eto na ngayon ang tanong. Do we need, eto na nga, topic natin is college education. Well, of course, yung elementary, high school, somehow, especially elementary, sa akin, importante yan, na kung ano yung tinuturo sa eskwelahan, dapat ituro pa rin yun. Because basically, ano yan? Ano ang mga tinuturo doon? Basic writing, basic reading, counting, communicating, whatever. Yan. So, yun ang mga tinuturo dati na kailangan pa natin matutunan. And somehow, the schools had been able to teach that perfectly. Beyond that, wala na. Yan lang naman ang natutunan ko. Ako, I actually had that kind of an experience. I actually studied in school, but I never really learned anything except how to read, how to write, how to count. Yung pagbibilang ko, hindi nga siya ganun ka, I would say, sophisticated in terms of, well, umabot lang ako sa basic math. Beyond that, yung mga yung mga advanced subjects in mathematics, hindi ko na, like algebra, medyo nangamote na ako doon. Geometry. Geometry ba is a math subject? Yeah, I think so. Trigonometry. Yan. Wala. Ano ako doon? Zero. I tried to really learn, but I don't know. Since I couldn't catch up, mahina ako eh. I was a slow learner. And my teachers then were not concerned about us being slow learners. No? Pag hindi mo nasabayan yung mga top-notcher, yung mga magagaling, sorry ka na, bagsak ka na. That's what education was all about in school. They only educated those who wanted to really study. And yung mga, sabi nga natin, mabilis matuto. But the slow learners, hindi nila tinuturuan talaga ng tama. Binibigyan nila ng, I would say, bagsak na subject, na grade. And hindi nila tinuruan. Binagbagsak so you just have to take up the course again. And then when you take it up again, somehow, para bang, hindi mo na naman nakuha. Hindi mo naman naintindihan. Bagsak ka na naman. Sabi nga take 3 ka na. Normally, take 2 lang dapat pero iba take 3. Anyway, so yun ang nangyari sa atin sa eskwelahan. Alright, I'd like to say hello to Juan de los Santos. So bakit isa na lang estudyante natin ngayon? Nawala na yung ibang estudyante natin. Anyway, so ako naman dito sa ating binibigyan ko mga kaalaman, sa akin ganito lang ang ang aking I would say attitude towards this, no? Alam niyo, tinuturo ko dito sa Kamalayan, napakahirap nito intindihin actually. What do you mean by mahirap intindihin? Hindi ito para sa lahat. Hindi kakayanin ng everyone, for that matter, to understand what I'm teaching. Because if you're not ready, you will not come to listen to me. What do you mean by if you're not ready? Ang problema kasi sa atin is, akala natin, itong tinuturo ko, lang ito, inimbento ko lang ito, or wala yan, walang basehan yan. But basically, this is already what you call something that is important to learn, which is not being taught in schools. And this is why I realized I had to teach it if nobody would teach it. Why? Because hindi tinuturo But ano ang pakay ko rito? Bakit ko tinuturo? Kasi this is what I learned. That it is our consciousness that creates our reality, ang kamalayan natin. So, ang kamalayan, ang talagang basehan nito is more than just psychology. Kaya ang tinuturo lang sa psychology, hindi consciousness, conscience. Ayan. Being conscious, yun. Nawala yung ness Just being conscious, being aware. So, yun yung naging problema. Anyway, so, ang tanong dyan is, alright, hi, hello, Mitch de Guzman is watching. Napakagaling na singer ito. Alright. Kapatid ito ay isang batikan na actress. Si Malu de Guzman. Isang ating hinahangaan na character actress. Alright, so, ito lang ngayon ang tanong ko. Ano ba ang kailangan natin matutunan ngayon? Kailangan ba tayo mag-aral sa college? I'm talking of college now. I mean, I will not say that education in schools is not relevant. It is still very relevant. Ayaw ko ng math, sabi ni Mitch. Alright. Yun na nga Ang problema kasi sa eskwelahan, ang daming tinuro sa atin na subjects sa curriculum na in-include nila ng mga subjects na hindi tayo interesado. The only real learning that we are supposed to be able to learn is how to learn. Learn how to learn. But that was what they didn't teach us. They didn't teach us how to learn. Kasi pag natuto kang mag-aral ng kusa, hindi mo na kailangan ng teacher talaga Ikaw na mismo mag-aaral na kusa. That's why ito nga ang kuha ko eh. Which is better, college education or self-education? Sa akin, I took up both. Dumaan ako ng college well, I would say tinapos ko siya. Kaya lang, hindi ako binigyan ng diploma. Bakit? Kasi ayaw nila akong bigyan ng degree in terms of my major. Pero kung papayag daw ko na Bachelor of Arts lang, walang major, okay lang, graduate ka. Yung major subject ko, ang problema, ilan lang kami kumukuha noon during that time ng theater arts. Ang problema, pag walang, ano tawag dito, quota. What do you mean by quota? Pag hindi na-reach yung number of students to be able to create the subject in terms of as a class, hindi ni-dissolve yung class. So may binayaran ka na unit, pero pagdating mo sa first day, bigla na nasasabihin sa'yo na we're dissolving this class. Kasi dalawa lang kayo nag-enroll dito. And that's what happened to me. I waited for so many months. And actually, overstay nga ako na. 4-year course, 4 years lang dapat yung course ko. Naging 6 years yata ako sa college, o 5 years. Dahil I was waiting for the major subjects to be offered. Hindi. And so, nung na-feel ko na niloloko na lang ako na eskwelahan ko. I got out. I didn't get the diploma. Sabi ko, hindi ko kailangan yan. I will prove I can really become successful even if I don't have a diploma. And this is what I'm teaching now. That's why, sa akin, I would consider it na that was a monumental, sa akin, I would say, event na nangyari na wala akong diploma, but I was able to do a lot of things. Sabi nga nila, wala mangyayari sa'yo kung wala kang diploma. Bakit sa akin? Nakapagturo ako sa college. I taught in Assumption College for 18 years. Wala akong diploma. I taught in Miriam College. Wala akong diploma. I taught even in FEU. College yan. Paano ko nagawa? Yun na nga. Na-explain ko a lot of times yan. So, ito na ngayon yung natin. Pinag-uusapan natin na what is better? College education or self-education? Sa akin, kung ang course mo, nursing, yung mga nasa health area, yan, importante yan, mag-aral ka sa eskwelahan. Kasi they have the facilities, they have the laboratories, they have the people, the professional, yung mga doctors, mga nurses, mga health workers who can really, mga practitioners who can really teach you the subjects you need to learn. And importante yan sa atin ngayon, health area. I suggest don't get out from college. Yan. That's why, sa akin, depende yan college education, depende. If you're taking up yung mga ganyang health careers on health, you need to go to school. You need to really finish a degree. Otherwise, walang maniniwala sa'yo na sabihin mo, doktor ka, wala kang diploma. Yan. Importante yung diploma. Diyan ko hahanapan ng diploma ang aking dentista. Diyan ko hahanapan ng diploma ang aking doktor. Pag hindi siya nakapasa dyan, tapos hindi pa siya nakapag-board, lalo nang hindi ako maniniwala, alam niya yung ginagawa niya. So, but still, again, as I've said, not because you have a diploma it doesn't mean you're good. Because ang dami ng pagbabago ang bilis ng pagbabago ng technology, ng panahon, yung dating uso, hindi na uso, the way we used to do things, the way they used to actually administer yung mga paggamot sa iyo, may mga modern ways now of doing it. And kung hindi ka nag-aral uli, may iwanan ka ng panahon. So, makakapaka uli dahil hindi mo na alam yung mga bago. So, this is important for us. So, I will not suggest that you go out, you get out from school. If you are taking up mga courses like medicine, nursing, architecture for that matter, engineering, importante yan. Kasi kailangan mo talaga ng matutunan ng basic. Walang nagbago naman masyado dyan. You need to you need to really learn the basic things that you have to learn. Like kung sa pagka-doktor ka o nurse, at least yung katawan, basic, kailangan maintindihan mo yan. Hindi naman nagbago ang katawan ng tao. For the past 1,000 years, ganun pa rin ang katawan natin. Although nag-evolve, medyo gumandang lalaki tayo. Alright, so I'd like to say hi first to some people here who are watching. Raymond, Odgil, Santillana, and si Jun Marialo, aking kabatch sa Don Bosco. Yan. Yan, Bosconian High School. Of course. Alright, so sabi ni Mitch also, magaling lang ako manghula pag natatawag sa recitation. Tumatama po sagot ko. Uy, magaling ka. Okay. Ako rin Actually, I would wing my way. Yung sabi ko, binubuwala ko na lang yung teacher ko. Pero mahalata rin naman niya. Pero, siguro, nakita niya na I really make some effort in terms of explaining it my own way. And somehow, pinagbibigyan ako. Although, later on, sasabihin niya, okay, that can be, but it's not the right answer. At least, I tried my best. Hindi yung outright kagad sinabi, mali ka. Alright, so, okay, ano pa ngayon nangyayari? So, as I've said, college is important for some courses, yes. But, for tourism now, I don't know. Medyo, pag tourism graduate ka ngayon, hindi ko alam kung saan ka pupunta ngayon. Kasi HRM, kasi karamihan ng mga restaurants. I don't know if the restaurants are going to open the way or operate the way they used to operate, no? So, ito ang mga importante, mga nangyayari ngayon na kailangan natin maintindihan. HRM, hotel and restaurant. Mga hotels hanggang ngayon sarado pa. So, mga cruise ships, wala na. I don't think they'll open or they'll operate again. Mukhang not in the very near future or not even for that matter. Siguro, sasara. Mga aeroplano ko ngayon, ginagawang cafe na They're offering yung mga old airplanes na hindi na lumilipad kasi marami nakakamiss. Sa Thailand there's this popular cafe now that, these Thais would go to dahil na may miss nila going to an airplane. O yung mga hindi pa nakasakay ng aeroplano, lalo na sa first class, business class, ganyan. So, at least, pagpasok mo nila doon, and andun sila doon sa first class. Ayan, okay. Sabi ni Catalina Suzuki, okay, agriculture po ako. Tama. Another one now that is important, aside from the health area, health careers, agriculture. Because basically we are an agricultural country. This is something that we have to now really be more serious. In terms of really taking it up, no? Kasi dati nun, sa UP, pag sinabi, paano ka pumasa sa UP? Nandun ako sa UP Agriculture. Sabihin, pag bumagsak ka doon sa main, at pinasok ka sa agriculture, pwede ka pa rin UP student. Pero doon ka nga sa agriculture ko. Ewan ko kung, I think, I don't know if I'm right, but yun ang nadidinig ko noon So sa UP, basta pag agriculture, sige, doon ka ilalagay sa course na yun. Pero ngayon, importante yung agriculture na yun. Yan ang buhay sa atin ngayon. So, yan ang mga bagay na, ano pa ba? Technology, of course. Ayan, importante yan ngayon. We have to now, ang pinaka-biggest career, I would say, na ma-offer natin ngayon ay really in technology. Kasi they have to learn about computers now. They have to learn about how this thing really works. And then, ang dami pagbabago sa technology ng computers, no? Hindi na ito nakatulad dati na ang lalaki ng mga IBM machines noon. I would remember, I used to see them. Kasi I used to go to the office of my auntie. Nakikita ko yung mga machines sila where they used to have these IBM cards na dinalagay nila. Tapos maraming butas doon. Those were the days. Pero ngayon, ang liliit na ngayon ng mga gadgets. So, nabago na ang technology. And somehow, ito na nga paliit ang technology. Ha? Ganun ka, microscopic na nga They can implant something, a chip on your brain, and they can already monitor or try to control you. And these are what is important to really learn in terms of what this digital age is really coming into. So, yan naman importante sa college. Yes, we have to still keep them there. But beyond that, wala na. I would say, Bascom, saan ka pupunta kayo? Wala na nga ABS-CBN. So, sa GMA7, nag-retrench sila. So, yung mga communication graduates ngayon, wala na sa mga broadcast media. Sa matter of fact, sa akin, nung ko pa talagang sinasabi na itong broadcasting na ito, mawawala na ito dahil digital na When you say digital, social media, it will be, the internet rather, yan. It would take the place now, which is, dapat ganoon na nga ngayon. Pinatagal lang kasi ng ABS pa na maging, parang kumikita pa sila through the broadcast, bagsak na yung broadcast industry na yan in a way. If I would now see it, siguro, coming, 5 years from now, wala na yan. Everything is already digital. Wala na yung analog. So, that's what ABS now is doing. They're not anymore interested in getting a frequency, I suppose. That's why they're concentrating now on the social media. Diyan na sila. Ito naman talaga dapat Pag naging very successful sila dyan, tignan mo, GMA biglang social media na rin lahat yan. Ngayon nga look at what is going on in social media. Hi, Tanya Manalang. My former student in Assumption College. Ito si Tanya, anak ito ng aking kaibigan, Mark Manalang. And ito si Tanya became, came in Miss Saigon sa London. Yan. All right. So anyway, look at who are now the biggest earners in this day and age. You will be surprised. Sa YouTube, who are now earning among the Filipinos, the top YouTube sensations. I made a list on that. Sige, hanapin ko. Diyan ba siya? Alright, ayan. Gulo tuloy. Anyway. So look, ito Alright. I will give you a rundown of how this thing already works. In terms of, yun na nga. Ito they're not even educated in terms of, because many of them are young people, many of them are out of school. They never really graduated. But look at how much they are earning. Kung talaga titignan natin, kung gusto natin pag-usapan ng pera, kung saan ang pera, kung paano natin kikitain yan, ay nako, nag-iba na talaga ang panahon. Huwag mo nang isipin na ma-applyan kang trabaho, na ito na yung magbibigay sa'yo ng sweldo, magiging boss mo, magtatrabaho ka for 8 hours, Ito na yan, for example. So YouTube, yung mga YouTube sensations, ito na yung mga nagsasabi natin, mga nag-viral. And because nag-viral yung mga pinagkakagawa nila na hindi mo na iisipin na seryoso in terms of, ano ba yan? Bakit parang puro lokohan lang yata yan Sayaw-sayaw lang yan. Puro pranks. Mga bagay-bagay na para bang, yung ginagawa natin na mga pang-gugulo, pang-iisa. When you say a prankster. Alright. So, look at the figures. I listed some figures here. I don't know if you know Will Dasovich. Will Dasovich is a film, I would say, vlogger, Ayan. And, ito, I'll start from the top 10 ito. Top 10, pero, sige, basahin ko na nga lahat. Top 10, pero I'll start with the number 10. Ito pa yung pinakamababa sa top 10. Alright, Will Dasovich. Ito yung boyfriend ngayon ni Alodia. Si Alodia yung ano tawag doon? Yung, what do you call that? Yung costume. Hi, Mines, kamusta ka na? Absent ka na, matagal, ha? Ramil Vela is watching. And, okay, all right. Okay. So, Will Dasovich, you know how much his net worth is now? He has ito yung number of subscribers niya. Kasi, you know, in YouTube now, if you have big number of subscribers, that is when they monetize you. That is when they give you that kind of money coming from advertisers. All right. And so, ito na yun. So, Will Dasovich has a net worth of, this number of subscribers, 2.3 million. All right. 2.3 million. Tato Malay, subscribers, 115. Naku, malapit na. Doon sa sige na, mag-subscribe na kayo sa akin para naman ma-reach ko rin itong figures na ito. Ha? Lahat kayo dyan nanonood, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Para naman ngayon, meron ako ngayon 115. Okay lang ako. Pero, yung cosplay, sabi ni Ver, si Alodia is a cosplayer. Yun ang boyfriend niya, si Will Dasovich. Ito, minimension ko. And Will Dasovich has 2.3 million subscribers as against sabagay, sa akin pinaghirapan ko ito. Yung talagang, I worked on this for the past 3 years na kung saan when I put up my YouTube channel. So, at this point in time, I have 115 subscribers. Oy, Dexter Doya is watching. Oy, magaling na artista. Alright, so, si Will Dasovich has 2.3 million subscribers. Ang net worth niya in dollars is $400,000. Or, in pesos, he is worth now 20 million. 20 million. Ayan ang ating hinahabol. Kasi 115 pala sa akin. So, kung habulin ko yung 2. Pero ayoko yung 2.3 million. Gusto ko habulin yung yung number 1. Sino ba yung number 1? Naku, ito. 5 billion. 5 billion subscribers. Malaman nyo mamaya kung sino yan. Kilala niyo yan kung sino. Alright. Number 9. Number 9 YouTuber. Filipino vlogger na top vlogger in the Philippines is V. Cortez. I've seen some of his videos, and his net worth is 9.2 million pesos. Sino ba ito mga ito? Mga bata pa ito. Anong ginagawa nila? Wala, nag-YouTube lang. Yeah. And now, he's worth 9.2 million. Yan na nga ako niya. Eto, siguro may mga nakapanood niya dito kay Kong TV. I don't know if you know him, no? I've seen some of his videos. And Kong TV has a net worth of 45 million pesos. 45 million pesos. Kayo YouTube lang niya. Yan lang yan Ganun lang naman ang ilang panahon. Tapos inisnabin nyo ito. Tapos magpapakamatay kayo para sa isang frequency na analog pa. Samantalang nandito na sa internet lahat ang gusto nyong kitain ng malaki. Ay, VJ Isaac Monghe. Ay, si attorney. Estudyante ko rin ito. Si attorney. Kamusta na? Alright. Number 7. Ito yung kamamatay lamang, no? Yung YouTuber na namatay recently, na feature sa TV siya. Kasi nga, he's a well-known YouTuber. And ang aking tinutukoy dito ay si Lloyd Cadena. Lloyd Cadena, ito yung I don't know bakit pa siya namatay? He has a heart condition. Anyway, you know how much he is worth? 48 million pesos. Ganon kalaki. But talang dati, he was just a nobody. Ito yung sinasabi ko kasi yung pagbabago na nakikita natin. But of course, suntok sa buwan ito in a way. Pero it can happen because it happened to these people. So why cannot we not just, try to really look into this kind of a direction as well? So, number 6, ito. Idol ko itong magkapatid na ito. Actually, half-brother, half-sibling sila. Si Rance Kyle. Si Rance Kyle is a dancer. He used to be with ABS. I don't know kung ano yung grupo ng ABS na tinetrain ng mga artista, but he wasn't successful sa ABS. Nakita nyo he wasn't successful. Hindi siya sumikat sa ABS. He got out. He went to YouTube. Sumayaw-sayaw siya doon. Gumawa na siya ng mga kanyang videos. And right now, he is worth, net worth niya, 86 million pesos. And he has 10.3 million subscribers. Kita nyo. I think it's just 20 years old or 21 years old. I don't know. I'm not sure. Imagine, 86 million pesos. I've been following this brother and sister team. Magkapatid sila, pero half brother, half sister. His younger sister, who is just, I think, 14 years old now, or 13. Napaka-cute. Ang galing nila. Ang ganda. Pati niya, wala. She would just, dance, play along with some skits with her brother. I'm talking of Niana, number 5, Niana Guerrero. Hanapin niyo sa YouTube, baka akala niyo nag-iimbento ako Niana Guerrero is worth, mas mataas pa siya sa brother niya. 117 million pesos ang net worth niya. 117 million pesos. I've seen how actually they are using their money now. They had bought a car, a house. Ang ganda na nangyayari sa buhay nila. At a very young age, 13 or 14, but she started when she was, I think, 9 years old. I saw her grow up. I had been following their career sa YouTube. And now, she's worth 117 million pesos. See? And she has 9.4 million subscribers. Alright. Number 4, for that matter. Ito na ngayon. Ito, well, she is now with ABS-CBN, pero since wala na ABS-CBN, she's still happy doing YouTube because originally, she was a YouTube vlogger. Si Ivana Alawi. Ivana Alawi has 183 million pesos net worth. Imagine. Napakabata pa. Sexy. And so, yan ang kwan. And number 3, dinaig niya yung sister niya. Sister niya si Tony Gonzaga. Ito si Alex Gonzaga, parang wala lang, sabit-sabit lang siya sa sister niya. And, ang sister niya ang major player sa ABS-CBN. Pero, well, yeah, meron din siya na mga programs on her own. Pero, not as big as her sister, si Tony. Pero ngayon, she is richer than Tony Gonzaga because of her vlogs, her YouTube videos niya. She is worth now, her net worth is 198 million pesos. 198 million pesos. And another YouTube blogger, si Jamil. Actually, ano ito dalawa yata sila rito Jamil. I mean, couple yata sila rito. No? I'm not very familiar with this. And they're worth 280 million pesos. Alright. And the number 1 YouTube sensation is none other than Raffy Tulfo. Raffy Tulfo is with Channel 5. Pero he's making more money now in YouTube. And his net worth in YouTube is now worth 2.1 billion pesos. Bilyonaryo na siya. Kayo YouTube lang niya. Yung ginagawa niya sa sa programa niya, nilagay lang niya sa YouTube. And so, minonetize. Ayun, kumita siya na mas malaki kaysa sa Channel 5. Tapos, pinipilit yung sumikat pa rin kayo sa broadcast station. When in fact, ito na nga ang kwan. And Rafi Tulfo has 5 billion subscribers. Alright. So, kayo na. Ayan na. So, ang tanong is, ito na yung mga pagbabago na nakikita natin. So, hindi naman to sa lahat nangyayari. Pero marami na. Marami ng ilang beses na feature sa Itbulaga. Mga, not as big as these ones that I mentioned, pero nakabili na sila ng sarili ng condo unit, house and lot, mga kotse, and somehow they were just starting up to now. Makon na sila ng 500, mga 200,000 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers. Ayun, ang laki na lang kinikita nila. Kaya nga malapit na tayo dyan. Yung 115 subscribers ko, malapit na yung maging millionaires. No, ako naman I'm not really aspiring in terms of that. No? Ako ay nagtuturo sa Facebook. So, Facebook, hindi naman monetize yan Although, para lang for posterity's sake, nilalagay ko sa YouTube. Kaya ako may YouTube channel. Not because I want to become a sensation as well. But it's just for that purpose. Now, for education. So, well, kung susuportahan niyo ako, okay lang. But I'm not really after that. Sa akin, masaya na ako doing what I am doing now. Kung may pera man o wala. As a matter of fact, wala. Sa Facebook, walang pera dyan. They even ask you for money. Ang Facebook, they will even ask you for money to promote your videos para lang to reach out to more viewers or more people. Imagine, baligtad nga Ikaw na nga yung ikaw pa yung hinga ng pera ng Facebook. Anyway, okay lang yun. At least it serves another purpose for me. Whatever. So, ang tanong dyan is, what are we now supposed to be thinking of in terms of this new world that we are creating in terms of our educational, I would say, approach to things? Self-education or college education? As I've said, importante pa rin ang college education for some courses. Like for health courses, mga medicine, nursing, medtech, biology, whatever. Importante yan because nandyan may mga laboratories dyan and people who are experts who can really help make us understand the lessons better. So, ang tanong dyan is, kung wala ka doon, yun na nga, ang mga medyo nagsasuffer ngayon, parang walang pupuntahan dahil nagsara ang karamihan ng mga pwede silang kunin sana, ay, yun na, those who are in the communication courses. Although communication is a very, I would say, general course. Now, we can actually make use of it in some other ways. No? So, but kung ang habol mo ay makapagtrabaho sa isang TV station o isang radio station, medyo nabawasan na ang kwan mo na. Una, nagsara ABS-CBN. So, ilang libo rin yun. Imagine 11,000 people walang trabaho ngayon. And so, yung 11,000 na yun, wala nang trabaho. Tapos may mga 10,000 graduates pa ngayon na naghahanap ng trabaho na gusto makapasok. Wala na nga. So, nagdagdag pa ngayon sa jobless. Alright. So, yan. Okay. Now, the thing is, ano pa? HRM is another course na naapektuhan. Law, I don't think we need a lot of lawyers. Ang dami natin lawyers, puro nga nagkakalokohan na nga tayo, pinagloloko rin tayo. I don't know. I mean, I respect the law profession. Kaya lang I don't know, some lawyers, they break their own laws. Or they actually, think they can actually do away with the laws that they are putting up. That's why nga ako, I consider myself a lawyer also, but I don't use man-made laws. I actually promote universal laws. Universal laws, hindi nagbabago yan. Kasi ang man-made laws ay mga local laws natin, mga batas natin. Nababago-bago yan. Every administration yan, binabago nila ang mga batas, every generation. Pero yung universal laws never really change. And mind you, in other galaxies, in other planets, that those universal laws are the same. Because what? Why? Well, when you say universal laws, these are also divine laws. Because we only have one God. God created the entire universe. So lahat ng buhay na beings dyan, mga extraterrestrials at tinatawag natin, they're also worshiping the same God that we are also worshiping, because basically God, that one God made everything. So the laws of God in terms of the divine laws that we know of now. Ito yung hindi commandments ito. These are universal spiritual laws that we are talking about. Are all the same. As I've always been mentioning, I have been getting my lessons not anymore from people, but from aliens, from extraterrestrials. Well, how? Well, they've been communicating with us, and they have been channeling with some people, using some people, and they had been guiding us, giving us the kind of, I would say, lessons that we need to learn. Because sabi nga nila, we don't want you to fail. Because many of us, many of those daw who were actually like us, kasi sabi nila, tayo raw pinakabata among all those, among all these, beings in this galaxy that we're living in now. So tayo pinakabata. And somehow sila nag-evolve na. And they used to also commit the same errors that we committed. And then, ang gusto lang nila talaga is, ang pake nila is, ayaw nila sirain natin yung Earth. That's basically one of their biggest concerns. For us to not destroy the Earth, our Earth. Ito na nga ginawa natin. That's why tumigil ang mundo Tumigil ang kasi we were already on the verge of destroying practically everything. Until, sabi nga ni Gaia, the Mother Earth, stop. This is not going to continue. Everything has to stop. You have destroyed already a big amount of nature, of the environment. So, ito na, tumigil. And so, ngayon, yung pollution medyo gumaganda na, ang simoy ng hangin. Yung mga dagat medyo lumilinis na, kaya yung mga dolphins, yung mga whales ngayon ay naglalabasan, parang napakasaya nila na nagsiswimming sila where they are now. Anyway, so ang tanong dyan is, what are we supposed to really take a look into now? As I've said, it's not business as usual. Wala na yung mga business na ating babalikan. There's no new normal. We are now in this age of, well, we call it not exactly an age, but we are now in this period of transition, of pivoting, change, pivot, pagbabago. And that is exactly the word that we have now to really now be able to accept wala na tayo yung stability. Wala na yung sasabihin mong gusto mo yung katulad dati na yung walang pagbabago. Ngayon, everyday may pagbabago. Hindi na pwedeng at this point in time na parelax-relax lang tayo. We have now to learn a lot of new things because changes are now being made not incrementally but I would say every moment. There are big changes that are happening now. Pivot point era na ngayon. Tama ka, Ver. It's now really the age of pivoting. Pero it is also the age of transformation. This is now the age of, I would say, awakening. Period of awakening. That's why nga, ito sa Kamalayan, ginigising ko kayo eh. Wala naman ako ibang pake rito, imbis namang, kundi gising lang eh. Sa bagay, ang hinahabol ko lang dito eh. Alam mo, sabi nga ng mga aliens, babasa ko kasi mga, I'm seriously studying them. They have books. I have bought some of their books. I have been watching most of their videos. And they're very, very, I would say, logical, very relevant. And ito na ngayong talagang kailangan nating matutunan. No? And sabi nga nila, all you have to do, kasi nga ito collective consciousness, para magbago talaga ang mundo, magkaroon ng magandang pagbabago talaga, para hindi mapunta na dun sa dating negative collective consciousness. Ito na yung gusto nating positive collective consciousness na makita. All you have to do is to just be able to change 1/2 of 1% of the entire population of the world. So, ibig sabihin, if you are now 8 billion people, 1/2 of that 1% lang ang kailangan natin mabago ang kamalayan and magbabago na ang takbo ng mundo, ang buong mundo. So, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to do. Kaya nga, ako, hinahabol lahat ng maraming tao na, kung sino na interesado, sige, tulong kayo. Sabayan nyo kami sa pagbabago. Pero kung ayaw nyo, okay lang. Problema na lang nun yan. Hindi ko na problema yan. Kung hindi kayo sasabay sa pagbabago, naiiwan kayo. That's why kami, alright, hindi naman ako nagmamayabang, no? Pero, eto nakikita natin pandemic crisis na ito. For people like us in Kamalayan, we are not afraid. We don't have that kind of fear. We have that kind of, I would say, confidence, that kind of happiness that joy that we are now experiencing in spite of what's going on, because we don't actually see it happening in our world. Iba na yung mundo namin eh. What I mean by iba yung mundo natin? Yes, I go around the same roads, I meet the same people, pero the world I'm living in is not in the third world or in the 3D dimension or third dimensional anywhere na dating kinalalagyan natin, karamihan. I had evolved into a 4D world or fourth dimensional world wherein I am more at peace with everything. I am happier. And so ito yung tinuturo ko sa inyo. Itaas. That's why nga ang title ng class ko, it's called Shifting Consciousness Higher. Kasi from 3D, we need to now shift to a higher consciousness, which is 4D and 5D, and eventually to 6D. So yan ang mga bagay na kailangan natin matutunan. So, as I've said, ang kailangan natin makita ngayon, there are the three, I would say, important things that we are now seeing that are going to be big are technology, health, ito ngang ini-ignore natin, yung mga mabababang sweldo ng ating mga nurses at saka mga doktor. Ito pala yung mga pinaka-importanting dapat mas pinaka-malalaki sweldo ang kinikita. Binabaligtad kasi natin ang binigyan natin ng importansya of course naman, importante din naman ang mga entertainers kasi naaaliw tayo sa kanila, nagiging masaya tayo. Kaya lang nga, mas malaki ang binibigay natin sa mga basketball players, kita nyo kung magkano kinikita nila. I mean, of course, we cannot say kasalanan nila. I mean, they actually deserve it because they really worked for it then. Para sumikat ka, napakahirap din naman para sumikat ka. Para ka mahangaan ng mga karamihan sa paglalaro mo, that entails a lot of discipline and practice. And so they were able now to prove to people that because of what they had done, they were able to achieve a lot of things. So, but again, as I've said, etong mga doktor natin, etong mga nurses, etong mga medtech, mga nasa health care, napag-iwanan. Kasi nga, iba ang values natin. Binigyan natin ng halaga ang mas mga panglabas. Yung nakikita nating showbiz. Entertainment. Oh, I don't have anything against showbiz. I'm part of that. But then again, as I've said, dapat equal na ngayon yan. Balansehin na natin. Kaya nga, technology is going to be big. Health care is going to be big. Another one that is really supposed to be going to be big is, eto na yan, makikita rin natin mangyayari. Agriculture, green. Importante na yun. Hindi na pwede sabihin natin, agriculture, mga farmers lang yan. Ngayon, ang farmers, in Japan nga if you really look at the richest people in Japan, the richest people in Japan are the farmers. Because, ilan lang sila kasi, kukonti. And for you to do farming in Japan, medyo you are isolated. And somehow parang iba yung mundo nyo. That's why nga, the government of Japan really knows that these people are very important because they are the ones feeding the entire country. And sa malaki ang pera nila. Maraming ang napangasawa mga Pilipina kasi they didn't have time to socialize anymore because nandun sila sa fields sila, sa farm nila. Nagsasaka sila sa ano nila. So, ang way of really meeting people na lang nila or meeting girls or to date girls were through online or whatever. Kaya marami sa ating mga Pilipina nakapangasawa ng mga farmers sa Japan. Ngayon, mga mayayaman sila ngayon dyan. Alright. Anyway, so, to continue. As I've said, college education or self-education. Bakit importante ang self-education? Because now, many of the things that are important are not being taught in schools. And you can learn them only sa internet. You can, you can buy books now sa Amazon na hindi pa nabebenta rito. And you can actually study the latest books that you can find. Or sa videos, sa Google, you can already now access a lot of information na kung saan ka interesado. Ito ngayon ang importante. The most important thing to really be aware of, to learn. Kasi ang tanong dyan ano ba talaga kailangan kong matutunan? One lesson only. The only thing that you really need to learn, ito na yung importante, which is also being suggested by these extraterrestrials. There's no other way except to just learn to know who you are, to be aware of who you are, to know exactly everything as to what makes you happy, what are your desires, your dreams, your talents, your skills. Kaya importante, you cannot become another person. In school, that is exactly the opposite of what they did to us. They made us become somebody else, not us. They did not make us become who we are. They made us become, kailangan maging katulad ka ni ganito. Kasi ito, nakita mo, yumaman siya sa ganito, naging successful siya sa ganyan. So we became somebody else. We never became who we are. Ang nangyari pa nga sa atin, we were told, yung gusto mo, ipagpaliban mo na yan. If you remember, if you go back to my video on Freddie Aguilar, my interview last Sunday. Balikan ninyo yung Sunday interview ko sa kanya sa YouTube. Doon siya. Musika, sa program ko, Musika at Pelikulang Kamalayan. Freddie Aguilar knew who he was at a very young age. At 5 o'clock, at 5 years old, he was already singing. Hilig niya kumanta, sumayaw. Siya yung ginagawang parang entertainer ng kanilang pamilya. Pag merong party, Freddie, kanta ka. Yan, ganyan. And he grew up enjoying singing. He loved to sing, he loved to perform. And so when he actually went to school, he didn't find his happiness there. And somehow, doon sila nagkatalo ng tatay niya. And since he knew already who he was, he knew what he wanted, umalis siya, lumayo siya sa bahay niya. And what did he do? He actually performed. He went to Olongapo City to become a singer. Pinanindigan niya kung sino siya. Ganon. Ito na ngayon ang sinasabi ko sa inyo. The only thing that you have to do now, which Freddie Aguilar did, was to become who you are. This is exactly what I teach in Kamalayan. This is exactly what I teach in my school. Itong class na tinatawag natin. You have to know first who you are. That's why palagi ang sasabi ko, ano ang magpapasaya sa iyo? Because kung hindi yan ang magpapasaya sa iyo, forget it. Dati, sinasabihan tayo, don't follow your passion. Kasi, yun na nga. Ang problema doon kasi noon sa atin, we didn't know what our passion was. Akala natin passion natin yun eh. Until we were doing it, kaya lang, hindi pala yun ang passion natin. Ngayon, this is why I teach how you discover your passion. Ano ang unang basihan mo to find out what you like? What are you enthusiastic about? Remember, enthusiasm is your natural way of appreciating things. Without really trying to make much effort into doing things, immediately, when you actually go around your surroundings, there are some things that will make you happy, some things that will not interest you, some things that will, make you parably amazed about some things. No? Look at all those things that will make you amazed or curious. Curiosity. Yun ang simula sa enthusiasm na yan. That's why nga ito, enthusiasm. Baliktad kasi dito sa Facebook eh. Anyway, entheos, root word of enthusiasm. Entheos, which means God within. Because that is your God-given talent already, or gift. Pag na-discover mo na yun, try everything na isa-isahin mo. Gawin mo kung talaga totoong magpapasaya sa'yo, hanggang saan mo kayang dalhin. Pero yun na nga, when you are doing it already, find out how much excitement you can actually make it go through in terms of, parang yung pagdadala, how you feel about it, no? Hanggang saan yung excitement mo. And somehow, don't be judgmental. Kung walang nangyayari, okay lang. Basta, tignan mo lang. Ang importanteng instruction dito is, don't be looking for results. Wala kang hahanapin na, kagaya ko ngayon, so sabihin mo, bakit yung ginagawa to? Am I after YouTube, being a viral one? Na katulad ng binanggit ko kanina, na milyon-milyon ng what? No. Kung walang mangyayari sa akin, I'm still doing it. I'm happy doing it, so I will not stop. So, kung may mangyaring pagbabago, mag-viral, okay lang. Pero kung hindi, I will not stop it. I mean, this is something that I love doing now. So, continue. Ganyan. So, pag alam mo na kung saan ka ngayon, medyo ito na yung masasabi mong point of no return. That you will do it kahit sabi mo walang pera dyan, which exactly what Freddie Aguilar did in Olongapo. Kahit na andit lang ng pera niya noon, yung pera nga niya na kinikita, pinapadala pa niya sa nanay niya. To the point na kung saan ay sabi nga niya na wala naiiwan sa kanya, nagugutom siya, hinihimatay siya dahil sa gutom, dahil wala na siya kinakain. Minsan sa isang araw lang siya kumakain. And that was his life. Kaya nga yung storya nung kanta niya is basically his story. So, ang tanong dyan is, na-discover na ba ninyo ano yung level na kung saan kayo masaya? Tuloy-tuloy lang ninyo. Huwag kayong magja-judge. Wala pang nangyayari dyan, tuloy, sige, gawin pa rin ninyo. Pero as I've said, pag ito na yung totoong na-discover nyo na magpapasaya sa inyo, have now the discipline to develop it. Kasi iba, walang disiplina. Akala nila magaling sila, hanggang doon lang, hindi sila nagpa-practice. Wala silang mga pinag-aaralan pang mas ahead, advanced pa. So, hindi sila nag-improve. Pero if you really would love to really succeed in what you're doing, ito na yung passion mo. Kasi remember, from enthusiasm, from excitement, yun na yung desire mo, ito na yun, naging passion na yun, naging bliss. This is what you're now saying. You're now following your bliss, your passion. And the moment you're there already, just continue doing it, regardless of whether something is there, may maganda resulta or wala. Kung wala man, doon ka pa rin, diretso pa rin. Medyo lumilihis lang siguro, pero sige, tuloy pa rin. Bakit hindi? Kasi kung talaga yan na napapasaya sa'yo, okay lang. I mean, you will actually, as I've said, abundance is not only money. There are 5 forms of abundance. Kaya huwag kayong mag-isip na dahil wala kayong cash, wala na. And somehow, I mean, if you have good health, that's already prosperity. I mean, you're very prosperous. No? Kasi imagine if you have all the money in the world, pero yung pera mo naman ginagastos mo lang sa pagpapagamot mo, mahirap ka pa rin. Pero if you are now very healthy, like ako ngayon, I'm enjoying myself now. Wala ako sakit. I've never been hospitalized at my age. So, wala. I'm actually, I would say, every time nga nagkakaroon kami ng executive check-up, pagdating ng results ko, perfect ako. Yung mga mas nakababata sa akin, dami nila nakikita mga may sakit. Sa akin wala. Except for some now na, well, kumisa kasi nag-aabuso rin ako in a way. Yan. Pero hindi, may take ko naman, naayos ko pa rin. Anyway, so, ayan ang sinasabi ko sa inyo. Everything now is about all these things that we are now going to create. Remember, we are not going to look for a job. We are now creating something as an expression as to who we are. Yan ang importante ngayon. That's why in self-education, you are now trying to learn something that you think you need to be able to express who you are. Saan ka malilinya to be able to express who you are? Anong art form? Anong whatever? Anong skill mo idadaan yan? Anong expression mo? Doon mo ngayon gagawin ang mga bagay-bagay na ito. You will now create. You will not attract it because everything is already there. You will just create it according to who you are. That is the only thing now that you have to remember. Who are you? Wala na yung, naku, galing niya dun, gayahin ko nga siya. O, sige, gayahin mo. Kung hindi mo naman type, But again, you have to go back to your natural compass. You have to now find out exactly who you are. Your personality would change from time to time, but there are things that somehow parang are in place na kung saan ay, kung ito napag-aralan mo, like for example, ako, I was confused as to who I was. I wanted to do a lot of things. Kung saan ako pumunta. Ano yung ginawa ko? I became a book author, I became a professor, I became a musician, I became an announcer. Ang dami kong ginawa. Halos, not for the money, but for the experience, for the love of it. No? Ang tanong nga dyan is, ano ang naging resulta dyan? confusion. I was confused. I don't know. Sabi ko, ano ba talaga gusto ko? So I went to a guidance. I had myself undergo a guidance counseling session. And dito, nakita ko, because binigyan ako ng tests in terms of personality tests. And somehow, the tests, well, somehow confirmed the things that I had already somehow were thinking about, na ito yung talagang gusto ko. And said, nung na-realize ko na ito pala ako, according to my personality to type. Although, sabi ko nga, these things can change from time to time, no? As you evolve. But again, depende na yan kung hanggang saan. Pero, who you are in terms of your personality might be an indication as to what you can do, what you can create, na magpapasaya sa'yo. That's what, when I realized that, I sabi ko, perfect. Now I know what will make me happy. And, ayun na nga, well, to make, cite to you as an example, when I took up this Myers-Briggs personality test, what I found out was I am an ENFP, an extrovert, intuitive, feeling person, and a perceiving person. So, pinagsama yan, ano ang mga taong, o yung mga klase ng tao na may ganong klaseng attributes o personality type. And doon ko na-realize, sila Dalai Lama, Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, Oprah Winfrey. Ito yung mga may pinaglalaban, may mga cause sila. And somehow, ito yung aking cause, in a way. Ganun pala ako. Meron akong, kaya pala ako ganito eh. Hindi ako mapanatili sa isang tabi hanggat hindi ko siya ma-express itong cause na aking gustong ipaglaban. Ano itong cause ko? About kamalayan, consciousness. But it is our consciousness that creates our reality. And about, dalawa yan eh. Actually, yes, consciousness is one thing that we need to learn about, But ang aking isang bagay na aking advocacy rin is to make people be aware that aside from college education, aside from formal education, self-education is also another kind of education that we have to take a look into. Because remember, after school, we don't stop from learning. Kaya nga lifelong learning ito eh. Lifelong learning ito, especially now. We have to now again study a lot of things because things have changed. Back to zero tayo. Lahat na napag-aralan natin nung nasa eskwelahan tayo, pasay na yan. So wala nang alam tayo lahat ngayon. We're just as ignorant as someone who never went to school at this point in time, because most of the things that are going to be offered in the next jobs that we are now going to take a look into, wala pang nagturo niyan. And somehow, ito lang eh. How do you become a successful YouTube blogger? May nagturo ba niyan? Wala. But look at these people now who made it big in YouTube. So basically, we now have to really now educate ourselves. This is what I want to now be clear with. Self-education and my kamalayan. All right, I cannot anymore extend my class for today. I, for that matter, have went overtime already for today. But anyway, sana samahan niyo ako sa aking ginagawang klase palagi dito where I give some, ang dami ko pa sanang gusto sabihin, but anyway, ito naman nabanggit ko na in some, but anyway, siguro, to just wrap it up, maybe, yun na nga, as I've said, we have to know who we are, and we have to develop some skills, or we have to design our own style of education. And how do we do about that? How do we go about that, rather? By, developing our skills. Whatever that is, try to look for it and develop it. Have the discipline. Kasi huwag kang tatamad-tamad. Huwag kang magsasabi na, ay, ang hirap pala nito, ayoko na. Kung talagang gusto mo yan, walang mahirap. Maraming maraming excuses ang mga taong ayaw. Pero pag gusto, wala, talagang gagawin yan. Learn from the best people. Look for mentors. Maghanap kayo. Ako, I learned from the best mentors I had in the past. Living and dead, from books. And now I am having the best mentors I could find. And these are extraterrestrials, ETs, aliens. And these are beings who are giving me now this kind of knowledge that I'm sharing with you. Huwag niyo akong pagtawanan. Pero, sabi ko sa inyo, I will have the last laugh in terms of what is going on. Because malapit na. These extraterrestrials will really be showing themselves in the very near future. Baka 2 years from now, andyan na sila. Nagpapakita na sa atin. Actually, they're also already with us. Okay, so, as I've said, learning is really important now. Lifelong learning for those who have finished schooling. You have to go back to really studying again and studying new subjects again. Learning new things. Tapos na yung dati yung napag-aralan. Wala na yan. Hindi na relevant yan. Learning is more important than making money. So, wag nyo isipin na dahil walang pera dyan, ayaw nyo pag-aralan yan. Wag nyo isipin yan. Learning, just for the sake of learning is good. If that will make you happy, go. Ganyan yumaman sila Steve Jobs. When they were learning some things, they never knew what they were trying to study. But they kept on just learning new things. And then, wala tayo talaga asahan dyan, kundi ang sarili natin. Sabi nga, meron tayong kasabihan, nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. Again, look, we have to take that literally. What I mean by take that literally? God will not do anything for us. Why? Because God gave us everything already. The power to do, to create. Etong kamalayan natin, we have this God-given power, this divine power within us. And somehow we're not utilizing it because it wasn't taught to us. We were told we were helpless. And so, wala. We were told to actually apply for a job, so magkaroon tayo ng boss. We now have to be our own bosses now. We have to create our own way of life, our own jobs. Ito na yung kwan. Because we are now really powerful. We have to know that this is who we are. Kaya nga sabi, nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. Ang ibig sabihin, walang gagawin sa iyo ang Diyos. Ang Diyos, titignan ka lang eh. A lot of us would ask for help. We would pray, Diyos ko, tulungan mo ako. Ang sabi, look, you have the power. Why don't you use it? What I can do, you can do. Sabi ni Jesus. And you can do it better. Tanong bakit hindi natin ginagawa? Tama. Tapos isipin natin, pinabayaan tayo ng Diyos. Tayo ang talagang helpless. Dahil tinuro sa atin na iasa mo sa Diyos. Oo, tama naman yung iasa mo sa Diyos. Pero mali yung iasa mo na ang Diyos ang paggagawa mo. Gagawin, ang Diyos ang gagawa para sa iyo. Kaya nga, kung sino man yung nagsabi, nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. Tama yung sinabi niya. Naaawa ang Diyos sa atin eh. Kasi alam niya how powerful we are. And we are not using that power. And so, tayo ay kawawa. Pero kung hindi tayo gagawa, wala talagang mangyayari sa buhay natin. And so now, it's about time we take action. And so, we have to really study because we cannot just take action without studying. So, sa akin, for that matter, both are important, college education and self-education. Pero at this point in time, it's self-education now because nobody knows exactly what is in the future. So, dito na lang tayo magkaka-anuan. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsasama. Thank you, sabi ni Ver Morales. Si January Si Louis Gorin is watching also. Reynaldo Malay, ayan. Si Atty. Monghe, ayan, si BJ. And Dexter Doria, thank you. Mines, thank you. Sino pa ba mga nanood sa ating Ramil Vela, kumusta na? Suzuki, si Catalina, si Tanya Manalang, yes. And si Egay, kumusta na Egay? And Jun Mariano, yes. Raymond Hodkin, and Mitch de Guzman, thank you for watching, and Juan de Los Santos. And marami akong nandito, kaya lang hindi ko mabasa ang inyong mga pangalan dahil eto, hindi lumalabas sa akin yung mga nag-like. Marami nagla-like pero nababasa ko yan pagkatapos na. Ang mga nababasa ko lang, yung mga nag-communicate, yung mga nag-send ng messages dito, that's why nababasa ko sila. Pero yung mga nag-like, maraming salamat na rin sa inyong lahat, no? So with that, I'd like to say, magandang kamalayan sa inyong lahat at sana ay makasama ko uli kayo sa susunod na klase ko sa Martes. Pero sa Linggo ay musika at kamalayan. Hindi ko pa alam kung sino aking imbitahan na. Anyway, so maraming salamat uli. So hanggang dito na lang. Thank you.